You use a chip today. You don't see it. It's inside your phone, your car, the router humming in your hallway. And right now, quietly, a group of nations is racing to control who gets to make that chip next. In December 2025, in a room in Washington, D.C., a document was signed. It had a strange name, Pax Silica. Pax, from Latin meaning peace. Silica, the raw mineral refined into silicon, the element inside every microchip on Earth. 9 countries signed first: the United States, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, the United Kingdom, Israel, the UAE, Australia. Led by a little-known U.S. official named Jacob Hellberg, they called it a positive-sum partnership, a plan to secure the entire chain, from the minerals dug out of the ground, to the factories that turn them into chips, to the data centers that run on them. But here's the fact they didn't put in the headline. Nearly 90% of the world's rare earth refining, the materials chips depend on, happens in one country, China. And in 2025, after new U.S. tariffs, China tightened its grip on those exports. Pax Silica wasn't just born from ambition, it was born from a chokehold. So the question becomes, is this really about peace? Or is peace the word you use when you're building a wall? Over the following months, the coalition grew. Finland, Sweden, Qatar, India, the Philippines, Greece, Norway, the Netherlands, Canada, and Taiwan joined as observers, watching from just outside the circle. By the second summit, held only months later, 10 more partners had signed on. What started as 9 nations was becoming something closer to a bloc. And that's where the real mystery begins. Because not every country joins an alliance as an equal. Take the Philippines. Its semiconductor industry is real, but small. Reporters covering the agreement raised a pointed question. Will joining Pax Silica help the Philippines climb up the value chain into real manufacturing, real innovation? Or will it lock the country into a lower rung, exporting raw minerals while other nations keep the high-value work for themselves? No one signed anything admitting to that outcome, but no one has ruled it out either. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, other pieces were moving. Reports surfaced of an industrial park being discussed in Israel, a logistics pilot program quietly proposed with Panama, designed to fast-track shipments of chip materials through customs using a new digital tracking platform. Small projects, but each one a thread tying a partner nation more tightly into a system built, funded, and largely controlled from Washington. Here's what we know for certain. Pax Silica exists. It has a declaration, a summit, a growing list of signatures. It was built specifically to reduce what its own founders call coercive dependencies. A careful phrase for a blunt idea. Don't let one country hold the world's technology hostage. Here's what we don't know. Whether positive sum, a phrase repeated in almost every official statement, will actually hold. Historically, alliances built around a dominant power tend to serve that power first. Pax Americana, Pax Romana. The name Pax Silica was chosen deliberately, echoing both. Which raises the uncomfortable question, in 100 years, will historians describe this as an act of shared security, or as the moment a handful of powerful nations quietly redrew the map of who gets to build the future? Right now, in 20 different capitals, officials are still negotiating the details. New partners are still signing on. The next summit hasn't happened yet. Nobody, not the analysts, not the diplomats, not even the founding nations, can say for certain how this ends. But the next time you pick up your phone, remember, somewhere in the metal and silicon in your hand, a quiet, unfinished pact is already deciding who gets to make the next one.